So talking really quick about the combat deployments and being face to face with war and losing friends. Um, so talk us through a little bit about that, like some of the major
Mm-hmm.
challenges there, and the psychological effect and the mental challenges of being on a mission, losing people, knowing that like, hey, this is the real deal,
Yeah.
um, and then still having to stay mission focused and continue.
Yeah. First time I lost someone was actually my best friend, Todd Godwin from Zanesville, Ohio. And he was another fellow ginger. We got along well. He helped me during my first deployment really train up and get in just elite shape. You know, love the guy. He was, a Marine's Marine and a great friend. And he got killed by an IED, getting extracted from, he moved on to the state platoon, was a sniper. So he was killed. I got the news, and then almost immediately the mission kept going. We had to go back out on mission and patrol through the villages around Fallujah. This is before the big battle happened, and that was the first time that I realized this is for keeps. This isn't just some big adventure. People die, people get hurt, people come back different, or they come back, in a box. And I had to put aside all of my feelings and grief and emotion and focus on the mission that was happening right there. Just totally compartmentalize and stuff everything I was feeling, and that only compounded going through the battle. Later that deployment in November, and we'd lose people every couple of days, and it was a challenge. Really, the psychological toll started to really wear on me after we were clearing houses in the city of, I think it was 250,000 people, mostly evacuated. So it was mostly insurgents there waiting for us. We kick open doors, look for guys trying to shoot at us and get them before they got us. And after a while, a month of doing this, my mind started going, how long can I possibly survive kicking open a door where somebody has the drop on me?
Yeah.
And come out on top? And that started to wear on me after a while.
Got it. Yeah, and I think it's one thing, like obviously we know, and like with our first responder community too, like we compartmentalize and then we deal with it later on, which I feel like it's different for the first responder realm. Like we can definitely be more proactive. Like if you're in a combat environment, you may have to compartmentalize for a few months and then deal with it
Mm-hmm.
later and work on yourself, because it's like you said, unfortunately you lost your buddy, and then it's like, okay, now we need to punch out for another patrol. You're not going to, like you have to be on your A game. So a question for you, going through like the town, kicking down doors, knowing like, hey, somebody has the drop on me if they're in this room essentially, because they can set up a perfect defensive position and they know you're going to go through the door. Like what was that like for you and for some of the other guys? Like how do you enter that room over and over and over?
I think there's a lot of similarities with first responders and law enforcement. I'd say is that you look around at your guys and you've been training together and training together and training together, and it becomes a level of communication where you don't necessarily have to say anything. You just make eye contact and you know what your role is, and that eye contact establishes that trust of, we are in this together. We're in this together and we're going through it. We have each other. And to do that alone would be impossible. It's impossible enough to do that with a team. But knowing that I had my guys' back, they had my back, was everything that helped us to keep going.